talking about the brand new Ethos Solid from Brunswick. Now, this one is something that I've been kind of anticipating for a while. I've known about it for a little bit before it got announced, and I've just been super excited to hear about it. To finally get to throw it. And because I've been a fan of the Ethos line so far, I was a fan of the original. Just didn't get to throw it a lot just because, if I'm just being honest, I didn't really know how to throw shiny equipment back then. I've kind of figured it out now. That's why I've been getting so much of it, to kind of give it a chance. Kind of want another. I'm gonna see if I can find one actually, because I've loved the Ethos Hybrid. I threw it a ton on different sport shots, and recently I've been throwing it in the Tuesday night or the Wednesday night doubles league that I've been doing some streams for. Speaking of, keep an eye out for our house shot review for this bad boy coming this upcoming Wednesday during league. But let's get into the specs, and then let's hop on the lane and let's talk about what we see. First off, it has the Savvy Hook 4.0 solid cover, no HK22, no cohesion, just cover. Interestingly, this is the cover from the Knockout Bruiser, of another ball that I actually really liked too. Kind of like another one. There's one at the shop, so maybe comparison later if I decide to waste money. But I've always found that the 0.0 covers for Savvy Hook tend to roll a little bit sharper versus the 0.5s, which, now this is just speculation, but they always seem to have some sort of like particulate in it, like some sort of particle, because those are the ones that typically have like the glitter in them. And that, for a minute, that was Brunswick's way of saying, hey, this is technically a particle cover. But this one doesn't have that. This one is just a 0.0 cover, but it rolls very smooth. It does roll very different from the Knockout Bruiser. Finished at 500, 2000 Sire. That's what they do a lot of their like dull, stronger equipment that they don't want to roll like super early. It's actually the same finish that's on the Ethos Hybrid and Hammerhead, which you'll see later in this video as comparisons. And then core numbers: 2481 RG, low RG, 053 diff, higher differential. Not super high, but not anywhere near medium either. It's kind of just your standard, on paper, your standard benchmark, stronger, symmetric piece. Now, prefacing this, before we go out on the lanes, I'm not bowling on a house shot in this video. That's why I'm doing kind of a dedicated league stream to get footage for this ball. I didn't really have an option. Last night, they put out Dragon for the Sport Shot series that they run. I got put on a lane that hadn't been used, so I got to bowl on Dragon. They didn't tell me that at first, which was a fun experience to try to figure out why isn't the ball moving when I'm throwing it up 10. But that's alright. Good reaction overall, but let's actually go on the lanes and let's talk about what I saw. And
right,
here we have the Ethos Solid and the Hammerhead
on PBA Dragon.
Now, of course, there's going to be more to say once I get to test this ball a little bit more on different conditions. This is just kind of what I've seen from this brief sport shot test. It's boring. There's not much else to say here. This is a boring bowling ball. Now, if you've watched this channel before, for certain reviews, you'll know that I say the word boring in high regard. Because boring simply means usable. You know that the ball is going to be something that you know what it's going to do on a variety of conditions, and it's not going to do anything special, and that's what makes it special. Now, as you can kind of see, like, we've had to move in a little bit. Playing straighters wasn't really a good look on what we were seeing from the pattern. Had to move in to kind of give the ball a little bit more miss room down lane. And essentially what I saw was something extremely predictable, non-overreacting, and controllable. And something you can have confidence in, as you just saw there. It's just something that we don't see a ton of anymore. Everyone's focused on making a ball that's super long and then super strong off the spot. Or the big heavy oil monsters that are just super early and super chuggy. And this is just something that's usable. It's not too much, it's not too little, plenty of strength there to use, but it uses it in the right part of the lane that doesn't make it stupid to use, where you're trying to either get projection or get something to roll earlier. It's not hard to throw. You just kind of go up there and put it where you need to put it, and then it does its thing. It is very reminiscent of a stronger Teal Rhino Pro from like 2 years ago, where I saw very similar motionless boards. Once I have my Teal Rhino Pro refit, I do plan on comparing the two. But I mean, just as you can see, I mean, this is a longer pattern, of course, so take some things with a grain of salt. It's just, it gets to the spot and then kind of walks back to the pocket. Not doing a ton, but just doing what it needs, just doing enough. And sometimes enough is the best thing you can have. Truthfully, this ball is a motion I've been looking for a while. Luke Rosedal did say that it was somewhere between reactive and urethane, and I can see where he's seeing that. But let's get into the comparisons first. Ethos Hybrid compared to the Ethos Solid is something weird. And you can kind of see it on the lane, where you can tell that the core is trying to stabilize before the cover is kind of wanting to make that move. But it's a similar overall strength because it has stronger additives. We'll get into more of that here in a second. The Hammerhead is just more ball. It has more, first off, it's just a stronger cover. It does see the lane a little bit sooner, but when it sees that lane sooner, it wants to move a little bit faster. It's a slightly quicker response ball. It's just more overall, like more shape, more strength, and faster reaction. It's just not as smooth. It's still a really, really good ball, but going off of the Ethos series, which is kind of known for being smoother, to the Hammerhead that actually has a little bit more grab and a little bit more go, it was just different. Certain people are going to like certain things more. I think they just have different use cases. I've been throwing the Hammerhead actually a fair bit lately. Will I transition to the Ethos Solid? Honestly, probably. I like smoother stuff. Back to the Ethos Hybrid. I didn't get as many shots as I probably should have for it. That's okay though. It's weird. HK22 and HK and cohesion additive, they do bump strength a little bit, but they're more shape additives, or well, HK22 is a cover base, but it more has to do with like shape than strength. Cohesion kind of boosts both at the same time, where you both start to see it roll a little bit earlier and have a little bit more pop down lane. But with the Ethos Hybrid compared to the Ethos Solid, you can see the cores moving in a very similar spot. You can see where it wants to start moving, wants to start rolling. And you can even see it kind of straighten out a little bit, and then it has a later move, like kind of a little bit more pop in that move, but they're both similar strengths. So I feel that if you're someone kind of like me who prefers different shapes and kind of letting the balls separate themselves that way versus necessarily cover strength, because I actually do have to throw stronger stuff because I'm rev dominant, and I know that sounds weird, but the weaker stuff just preserves too much energy. Like it stores, like, it's not the right word, but it doesn't use energy early enough to have a tame back end, and that's where I have a problem. So I have to go for shape differences on the higher end of stuff to kind of help blend that out a little bit more. And honestly, I'm not upset about having both of them in the bag. Like I said before, maybe this is the second take I have to do, so I don't remember what was said in the actual first part. I'm going to be doing a house shot review / league stream this upcoming Wednesday, and I'll have the Ethos Hybrid with me. I'll probably throw a couple shots with it, unless I'm shooting really well, and kind of compare the two. But they actually kind of work well together. And I've been thinking about like what kind of bag I would build for this, and like what to have, what to throw. And interestingly, it's a weird bag. But it's something that I would actually throw. It's something that I'm probably going to be throwing, like a bag I would have with me at some point. But like just going like 5 balls, I would probably like, and I threw one today and I really like the shape of it. I'm going to be drilling one for myself. Just got to order it. Paragon Shadow ball 1 is super strong. Earlier, tumbly, chuggy. All the words to say that this ball hooks. Followed it up by a 3D offset Assault, which is essentially just a little bit more pop, but kind of similar shapes. Honestly, it's kind of similar shape to the Ethos Hybrid, but just kind of more of it. Followed by the Ethos Solid, then an Ethos Hybrid, and then a Cypher Pearl. Cypher Pearl is underrated. It's a smoother pearl. I really like mine. It was actually the ball that we ended up doing the fit test on, because I had actually gone the opposite way and tried a little bit of a longer span on it. Shouldn't have done that. And now I'm actually shortening my span. But yeah, that's what I would say would be like a really good like option, because they all kind of, you get some strength difference and you get a bunch of shape difference. And it's just kind of an overall just usable bag. The focus is on usability and versatility versus true kind of gap filling. Everything in there can be used a certain way, And that's why I like a good bit of its hybrids. Because you can adjust surfaces to get different types of reactions. Like one of my favorite reactions back when I was bowling Sports Shot League was my 3D Offset Assault at 4K. It actually rolled really good on the last pattern that we bowled on. But I normally keep it sanded. You gotta try different things. Crown Victory video will eventually be coming. But it's like, that's a video that I'm making is surface changes, because I tried it out of box, hated it, didn't like it. It was too sharp. Put some surface on it, love that thing. One of my favorite reactions. That's how important surface is. But anyways, I've been Osteen Ball Reviews. Oh shoot, I missed again. And I hope I don't miss y'all next time. Hopefully soon with that Paragon Shadow. But there's a lot more coming that I think y'all will be excited for. Hope I don't miss y'all next time. Thanks for watching.